Hello and welcome back to our cooking channel. It's been a while. Today we're going to be doing Chicago style deep dish. The ingredients for the dough and the sauce and all that, they're in the description. Alright, so first you got to get your yeast. I'm using active dry. And your water. This is 8.5 ounces of water. And just pour in the yeast into the water. So just mix that around, and while you're mixing it, you can add in just a little pinch of flour, like that. You don't really have to measure it, it's not that important. So your yeast should look something like that, and then now you got to weigh your ingredients. So you got to weigh out 354 grams of flour. I've switched to the metric system because it's just better. So now you weigh out 71 grams of, this is cornmeal. You could use semolina flour, whatever works. So also you need a little bit of salt. I'm just gonna do a tiny little pinch like that. And then I'm just like to mix them together with my hand because you're gonna bake it for a while, it doesn't matter. So you can do this in a bowl with like a spoon, or you could dump it out on the thing and use your hands. I like to use a stand mixer because it's really easy. Dump in your yeast and your water mixture, like so. I almost forgot. Add in just a wee little bit of cream of tartar. And your vegetable oil, like this, and we're using a third and a little bit of a cup. Just like that. And then pop it down. You make sure to lock it. So I got my flour on my work surface. Now you can just kind of scoop it out, dump it on there, get more out. Again, dump it on there. Just get as much as you can. It's really sticky. So now is when you start kneading. I got some more flour, just make it more workable. I like to get it all together and covered in flour, and then I start kneading. I like to push down on it, rotate it, and then keep going. Push down on it, rotate, keep going. And probably you're gonna have to knead for about, or it just depends. I normally have to knead for like 2 minutes. So as I was kneading, it got stickier. So I just put more flour on it, and back in business. So it should look like this, not too sticky. It's, but it's still pliable. So I like to get it into a nice little ball with smooth tops. Kind of hard, but just like that. Then just a little bit of vegetable oil. That's just to make sure it doesn't stick to the side too much. Then you can mop it up, spread it around with the dough like this. Get it covered on both sides. Alright, so I just put it in the bowl. Now I'm going to cover it with plastic wrap like that. We're going to leave it covered in saran wrap for about 3 hours. Alright, so it's been about 3 hours. Should look like this. It's like tripled in size maybe. Alright, so you should put a little bit of vegetable oil. Don't be like me, put vegetable oil. Don't do olive, it'll smoke in the pan, and you don't want that. So just kind of spread it around like this. And then you dump in, you take the plastic wrap off first. And then you dump in your dough. And you want to kind of like get it shaped to the pan. So press it down, stretch it, and let it kind of fill up the sides. Alright, so you want your pre-shaped thing to look like this. You push it down to rise it up on the sides, just to make it better and shape right. And then you put in your plastic wrap like that. and then let that sit for about 30 minutes. All right, so I'm making a pretty basic red sauce. You know, I'm just using garlic, some parm, olive oil, all that. All right, so dump in a little bit of olive oil, just like that. All right, so I'm gonna pop in my garlic. I have a garlic crusher. If you don't, you can just mince it up by hand. It just takes forever. So I'm gonna do probably 3 cloves of garlic. I'm just gonna let that kind of sizzle together and get all tasting good. All right, so we got our garlic. You can tell when it's time because it's when it smells really garlicky. Sprinkle in your red pepper flakes. I like it spicy, so I put in a lot. And then I blitzed up my San Marzano tomatoes a little bit. So I dumped in my tomatoes. You're just gonna let that sit for about 30 minutes. So I tasted it, you know, didn't taste like the way I wanted. So I added a bit of salt, and most importantly, balsamic vinegar. So just dump in a little bit of that. And tastes better. So I preheated my oven to 450, and I'm gonna reshape my dough, kind of push it down, pop all the bubbles. All right, so I'm gonna do sausage first, just kind of break it up, drop it in. And it can be uncooked because it's gonna spend a lot of time in the oven. All right, so I'm gonna put on my mozzarella and my provolone. And then I'm gonna put on my provolone. Now it is sauce time. So just dump it on there, kind of spread it around. I'm gonna do 2 ladlefuls, and I'm gonna save the rest. All right, so I'm gonna get a little bit of Parmesan cheese on the top, just to give it that extra little bit of flavor. All right, so that my oven is preheated, I'm going to dump it in. People, don't lose your thing that took 3 hours. Use both hands, please. Dump it in there, scooch it on back. Then I'm gonna set my timer for 30 minutes. All right, so I got it out kind of, except just with this little section here. It just depends on how long you cook it or just how you get it out, but as long as it's kind of intact. But should taste good. Make sure to let it rest for about 20 minutes maybe, because you know you don't want to eat soup. That's it.